Let's do this!
Happy time zones, everyone, and welcome to Daily Devotion with Beez. I'm your host, Beez the Chaplain. And things are going pretty well. I just double checked everything. It seems like the sound is working. Maybe the sound is a bit too loud. No. It seems to be all good. At the moment, I just want to double check. There we go. And there it is. My dad double checked that the sound is all good. Good morning, Dad. Happy attitude of gratitude today. Today, yes, is Friday. Last week I got it completely wrong. Simply because on Friday last week I wasn't on. I was actually away on a youth retreat. Oh my goodness. I was away on a youth retreat. And so I couldn't do my happy attitude of gratitude day on the Friday. Good morning, Kaz Dog, aka Wifey, aka Karen. I hope you're doing well. And good morning, Ryan, on Instagram. Glad to have you here. You're probably wondering, Beez, what's with the outfit? Like this outfit looks pretty trash. It's not. No, this is actually, there's a method to the madness. There's a reason why I'm wearing this. The reason why I'm wearing this outfit is this is the clothes that I wear to the gym. This is the clothes that, and I found out, I was watching TikTok the other day, and there's a term, right, where guys or girls, they wear oversized clothes. They wear oversized clothes and they call it a pump cover, right? And I was like, what's a pump cover? And it's basically the idea that, it's a really oversized thing. So people, or especially you can't see, your muscles, right? You're doing the work, and then you don't see the muscle. But then when you're really struggling, that's when you take off the pump cover, and by that time, the muscles are bulging and stuff, and it gives you that extra edge, or that extra slight edge to give you that extra grind to get it done. And it's like a form of motivation where you can actually see the progress, or you can see the the muscles coming out and stuff like that. And here I am doing these ones, trying to flex. And the thing is, I've never taken my shirt off, or not my shirt off, underneath. I've never taken my t-shirt off to show what's underneath at the gym. I'm not about that. I'm not about that life yet. Eventually, hopefully eventually I will be, so I can take off my pump cover. But right now I don't call it my pump cover. I call it my pudge my pudge cover for the time being. But we'll see what happens. We're gonna jump into it. We're gonna jump into today's devotion, and the topic of today's devotion is the ongoing support. The reason why I'm celebrating an attitude of gratitude this morning. I'm just gonna turn down the volume today. It seems like it's pretty loud. I'm bringing it down a bit. Today's topic of today's devotion is the ongoing support. And I'm referring to the idea of mainly accountability and the ongoing support of accountability partners in all areas of my life. And if you don't know much about me, I really struggle when I do things on my own. I am always about collaboration. I am always about team building. I am always about not team building, but working in a team. I'm always about the idea of wanting to be part of something, a group thing. So when it comes to music, I want to be part of a band. I don't want to do it solo. I want to be part of a group where all musicians can come together. That's why I really appreciate, worship and being part of the worship band. Also doing life, I don't really like doing life on my own. That's why I got Karen. She's my life partner. She is, she's my wife. We do this together. We do this journey together. And then the most recent thing, has been about my fitness, and I've really, needed support, especially in my journey for holistic health and well-being. And so, with an attitude of gratitude today, I'm coming and saying, I really appreciate having accountability partners. I really appreciate having people who I can rely on, and who we can work off each other to support ourselves in the journeys that we got. Well, there's health and fitness. And funny enough, I completed my studies in personal training, but as you can see, it's not the personal training that you think. It's more of the it was group exercise, because I knew that that's what would push me, like being in a group. So I did my Cert 3 in personal training and group exercise, so I can bring my people together, or bring people, friends, family, whatever, and we can just train together. And I created this thing called the evening push and the morning push a number of years back. And it was just this squad of just people who were just coming and wanting to achieve the same goals, just better health choices, keeping each other accountable, supporting one another. And so I'm really appreciative of the ongoing support that I've had when relying on other people as accountability people. Another area has been in ministry. The brothers not here this morning. I think I'm not too sure, but over the last couple of months, in regards to my streaming ministry and doing stuff online and stuff, I've heavily relied on the support of like Warden of the Sand and a few other people, just to help Oz Indo, Salamat Pagi, those people that will drop in every day and be consistent, to just provide that support, and we can work off each other. There's a particular story that I want to share with you, and this is what happened at the retreat last week. As you know, or I may have told you, a few of you, I recently got a personal trainer because I really wanted to be intentional about the life choices that I was making in health and well-being, especially in regards to nutrition. Invested my savings into an ongoing personal trainer, and he gave me a whole thing. He gave me meal plan, he gave me training plan. And what I was really worried about is what took place. I went on a weekend away, and I didn't have the facilities that I could. And I thought to myself, well, this meal plan is going to go down the toilet as soon as it started. And this was only week 2. And that's what scared me, that the fact that it was only week 2 and I was already thinking about making compromises and, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? And then a buddy of mine, SJ, he was like, he saw, because he's also in the worship band, right? And so we were rehearsing together, and I was sharing with him the struggles that the food that I was doing, and the desire to actually have a meal plan, and bring my prepped meals to the retreat, and he took that on board, and he was like, well, let's do it together. He would say, because I want to do meal prep as well, so let's do it together. And he reached out to me and he said, are we gonna do this? And I'm like, oh man. And just knowing that there was another person who was willing to do that with me, because like, if you're doing it by yourself and all of a sudden, like, everyone's going for their meals, or everyone's going for Macca's run, or everyone's going thing, it feels like it's not the peer pressure, but it's like, it's so much harder to do it by yourself. Me personally, it's so much harder. So when I had that second person, when SJ was like, yeah, let's do it together, man, we were supporting one another. Like, we would wake up, like I brought the NutriBullet shake thing, so he could use his and I could use mine, just to make sure. I'm like, well, if you're gonna help me, man, I'm gonna help you, and I'm gonna provide everything necessary for you to help me, right? It's like Jerry Maguire's thing, help me, help you. And that's what he did. And I would say it wasn't just the easy times, right? It was like, because meal prep is very inconvenient. I'm not gonna lie, for me, it's very inconvenient. When you gotta do stuff and then going back, preparing your meal, or going back, blending your smoothie, going back, and we have to go back to our cabin like quite a lot of times. I brought my blender to the retreat, that's how dedicated I was to making, in the hope to make this work. And and had it not been for him, because sometimes in the main place, we would just play the band, we would finish church service, and then the food would be there waiting, and that's a lot more convenient, right? And so I would be like, man, as soon as church would be finished, or as soon as the service would be done, like we'd link up with each other, we'd take a walk back to the back to the cabins. We'd make our meal, and then we go and meet up with the rest of the crew and just hang out with them. And for me, that made it so much easier because I wasn't doing it by myself. Then there were times where it got hard, and I saw that, like SJ, like we were going to Macca's with everyone, and I just chilled. SJ just chilled as well. And I was like, that was the time where I was like, no, I got to get something to eat. I'm not going to come all the way to Macca's for nothing. But no, we were supportive of one another and just like, no, we're doing so well. Let's just relax it. And it was this thing of, supporting one another. And so today's topic, what's the word? The Bible passage that I wanted to share with you is the idea of iron sharpens iron, because I'm hearing that a lot, whether it becomes in ministry, whether it becomes like brothers helping out brothers, boys or friends supporting each other. It's this idea of iron sharpens iron, and that's found in Proverbs chapter 27 verse 17. So I'm just going to read the passage, and it's very simple. And it's very quick and easy one. It says, as iron sharpens iron, so one man sharpens another. As iron sharpens iron, so one person sharpens another. And, and I thought to myself, well, it can't just be as easy as that, because there are so many. I went online and I was looking at commentaries, and I was like, there's got to be more to it than that. And if you look at, I think it's called metallurgy. Metallurgy. It's the study of metals, right? I really found it interesting of the process, because one person, when they put the comment up, it says, yeah, really, iron doesn't sharpen iron, and the Bible, that's a busted myth. And as soon as I read that, I was like, oh man, my heart sank, my heart dropped. And then there was a comment underneath. There was a comment underneath, and it said, well, today the use of iron isn't the most effective to sharpen iron. But in ancient times, iron, depending on how it was heated and how it was cooled and how it was used, it was quite versatile. And it was this idea of, oxidizing or producing carbon in the iron could do a number of things to it, right? And so as soon as I started reading that, it started making more sense, and I started getting more excited about the idea of how it says, as iron sharpens iron, one man or one person should sharpen another person, right? So and what I discovered was it was so much more than just support, or it's so much more than just simple encouragement, right? What I found out is when you oxidize, iron, like you add the carbon, and this is I'm killing the science behind it. But basically, it's when you're adding more carbon or less carbon into iron, it does different things, right? So, and in regards to making a metal or making a weapon or making a sword, right? What they would do is they would use a piece of iron, and in times for it to be heated or molded in a certain way, or to have a shape a certain way, it, like the final product is, you would use the iron, I'm going to say iron piece A, right, to work on iron piece B. Now, the thing is, it's not just one piece of iron working on another piece. These, it's like the tools that were used, they were all iron tools, right? And so there's a collective of iron working on one piece. It's not just one-on-one partnership. It doesn't necessarily need to be a one-on-one partnership, but it's a collective. There are some, and it says there are some irons that were more oxidized, which made it softer, right? So it'd be easily bent and easily molded and easily shaped. But then there's other ones that are more. Switched it around. There were other irons or pieces of that particular metal that were more oxidized or had more carbon in there, which made it more tougher and brittle, and which gave it more strength. And so different irons would be used on the same piece. And so when I was thinking to myself, reflecting about the idea of iron sharpening iron, I really had an attitude of gratitude for that weekend that SJ, when he needed to be the tough love, he was the tough love. When he needed to be the compassionate brother who knew that the struggle was real for me, he was that person. And so for me, though iron was sharpening iron, though it's the same metal, the versatility of that was quite important, and it was critical for me in that journey and in that season that I was in. Like at the end of the day, like I praise the Lord for what SJ was able to do to help me through that weekend, because I ended up achieving my goals and well achieving my goals. So when I spoke to my coach was like, "Hey man, you did really well this week." And I'm like, "Yup, I did," but it wasn't a solo mission, because I had this versatile piece of iron helping me along the way, helping me in the journey, being the iron that I needed so he could sharpen me. And once again, it was that vice versa. And then I looked back on different areas of my life, and I'm so grateful that like I have, I've got ongoing support people who sharpen iron as iron sharpens iron. You know, I think about my parents. I think about sometimes with my dad or with my mom. Usually it's like this, right? Where the mom is the more gentle, kinder, warm, comforting, compassionate one. That's still iron. That's still the iron that that bends and shapes. And for me, that's the softer one, right? But then you had my dad coming out with the tough love, the tough reality, the things that, this is like, I'm not going to sugarcoat this. This is the harsh reality, but I'm not here to break you. I'm here to make you stronger. And that was the tough love that I needed. And so you have those different types of iron sharpening iron. Then it came to my marriage, right? And we've got couples enrichment therapy as well. And through the therapist, or through through the therapist, Karen and I are both able to, use that space to sharpen each other, right? To help each other as better people for one another, and sometimes that's tough love. Sometimes that's very nice and soft. And sometimes it's actually, there takes flexibility, and it takes, a lot of, I guess it can't just be rigid iron sharpening rigid iron. It doesn't work like that. I really celebrate the fact that there is a flexibility and a versatility in the way we are iron. Because usually you think I'm just iron, right? Just one thing, one size fits all, and I'm gonna find, no, but it's not about that. What I appreciate about this text, it's saying, as iron sharpens iron, we sharpen each other, right? We sharpen each other. And I want to appreciate the versatility of what iron can do to sharpen someone else, right? 2 points. The first one is the versatility that I can be. If I need to be the rigid person and the tough love person, I can be the tough love person. If I need to be the more flexible and lenient and caring and compassionate and softer person, then I can need to do that. And why? Because Christ does that to me all the time. Christ is the one that rebukes me, right? And I hear the tough reality, I hear the tough truth, but at the same time, he's doing it in love. He's doing it in a compassionate, kind, and warm way, right? And so God has done that to me, so I have the opportunity and the ability to do that to someone else. And that's what the flexibility and the versatility of this iron is. Not only that, it doesn't necessarily need to be a one-on-one thing, but where in regards to versatility, it doesn't have to be from one person. That's why I used to love group work. I used to love playing in bands. I used to love training with people, because you have that group supporting you. You'll have the, I remember, at Evening Push. Man, Evening Push was great, because there was some people who I would say I was smack bang in the middle of, fitness level, right? So there were people who would push harder than me, and there were other people I would encourage, right? And so I'm there, and so I'm needing to be versatile as the facilitator of it, right? So when you've got, I'm gonna say, my friends like Lindy and the Leslie, who are highly competitive, and they want to push themselves and they want to max out each and every time, right? They're the people that inspire me and encourage me, and they're unforgiving, right? They're the ones that, especially Lindy. Shout out to Lindy. She'll be the one, come on, Beez, you can do it. Watch this, And then I would use her as competitive to push myself, right? It wasn't me against her. It'd be always me against me, her against her, but we would both, push each other. And then we got, and then I had my other boys or my other ones who would do, when it came to the slow burn, right? there was this last thing. There was this one thing that we always used to do for newcomers into, it was like an initiation into evening push, and it was called Sally. And I took that from the States, right? I took that from the acronyms back in, no, not in the States, from Canada. After they did their gymnastics thing, they would end with this thing called Sally. And it's basically squats, but low burn squats. And we did that and we would do that as fun, for fun, but we'd bring all the newbies into the middle of the circle, and with us, we'd all circle around them, and then it'd just be a slow burn for about 3 to 4 minutes. And that's where you needed to, either be that encouraging, tough love, the encouraging, supportive person, but at the same time, you're that tough love person to say, push, push, push. For me, when it's done in a community, that's where, personally for me, the best is brought out of me. When I'm in a place of encouragement and support for one another, that's where I thrive. And I just wanted to say, I'm really grateful for today that I have a community in majority of the areas of my life where there is accountability, there is support, and it's not just, iron sharpens iron, but it's the versatility and the flexibility of us being iron to encourage each other more. So, my word of encouragement for you today is, who has been someone who has been your accountability partner, who has been that support person for you, who has been versatile in their ability to do that, or who has been a community that have been able to do that, to bring the best out in you in both the tough love and the compassionate, kind, and warm love. And what I would encourage you to do today is honor them in that. Either reach out to them and, tell them, hey, I just want to say thank you. I just want to say I appreciate the support. I appreciate the encouragement. Pray for them. And, just remind them that, the stuff that they're doing, it's not, what's the word? It's not neglected. It's not overlooked, but it's actually recognized. And take the opportunity today to recognize with an attitude of gratitude, the accountability people in your life who have made you a better person because of their support. And for me, that's one of those things that helps me be better, have a better relationship with Christ. Because in all areas of my life, these are the people I know that are relying on Christ as well, that are actually journeying with Christ. And that helps me because it shows me that there are other people who see that this Jesus thing, that this relationship with Christ is not just for the church, is not just at church, it's not just at the 1.5, 2 hours on the weekend where it's just church, but it's a holistic life thing. And when I have people who do that and say, not only do I need help with my food portions and my calorie counting, but I need help with prayer because of my self-control and my lack of patience and wanting to see results. That's what we pray for one another in as well. And for me, that's where iron sharpens iron, because it provides God, it allows God to be in that space as well, so He can help us all. So honor your accountability partner, honor your support network today by shouting them out, giving them a call, praying for them, and just reminding them that they have been a support person, they have been that iron, the iron that you needed, right? Irrespective of how, if it was rigid or if it was soft, it was the iron that you needed. So I pray that you encourage that person or those people today. I'm going to close in a word of prayer. Let's pray. Heavenly Father, thank you so much for this morning and this opportunity that we can connect and celebrate with a heart of gratitude, with an attitude of gratitude. The people that you put in our lives that support us, the people in our lives that make us better, the people in our lives that you have put in our lives that test us, that push us, that bring out the best in us. And thank you that there is versatility and variety in that. We thank you that iron, though we might picture it as just one simple structure or metal, it can be used so many different ways. And so thank you for the people in our lives that come in different seasons to support us, to build us up, to refine us, to motivate us. And we thank you for that. And Lord, I pray that, you put it on our hearts, these names, so we can reach out to them, honor them, and, just really show them with a heart of gratitude how they've supported us along the way. I pray that you be with us now as we go into this weekend. I ask this all in your loving name. Amen. Thank you so much. Talia, Hey, I hope you're keeping well. Good to see you, Izzy. Good to see you as well. I just want to say, Kaya, hello, and Mum. I think I said hello to you before, but no, hello again. I hope you're keeping well. Talia, just want to say, I'm going to continue to pray for you, girl. I hope that God is going to continue to give you peace. During this season of your life. I'll leave it at that, but that's my prayer for you, that God will bless you with peace that surpasses all understanding, and may his presence be with you, girl. Also, massive shout out to Oz Indo. Thank you so much for your comments. I'm just going to drop one. I'm just going to show it. Also, Felix, hello on Facebook. Glad to have you here. So Oz Indo came out, is wanting to share two things. One, a passage found in 2 John chapter 1 verse 8. Watch out that you do not lose what you have worked for, but that you may be rewarded fully. I think when it comes to when it comes to the hard work and the grit and the grind, that's something that I definitely need support in. That's where I need God to remind me what I'm working for. That's where God also has those accountability people remind me of the end goal, because they're the ones that's like, this is what this struggle or this grind or the tough time is going to make it all worth it where you when you get that reward. And so thanks for that. Also, you're saying iron sharpening iron also requires a level of accountability, 100%, or a personal inclination to allow significant others to look closely into our lives so that they can see the specific weaknesses or problem areas. Absolutely. When I came to challenging, when it came to that personal trainer, he didn't want to just know my eating habits. He wanted to know all areas of my life, because he was like, these are some areas that will intersect, that will intertwine, that will impact your holistic health, your overall health, right? A lot of it was, how much sleep are you getting? How much water are you drinking? Not about how much the training or how much the eating. It's like, how much other stuff are you doing? How busy is your life? How stressed are you? Right? And they're the kind of questions he was asking. And for me, it takes an area of vulnerability. It takes a place where you have to be real, not only with yourself, but if you really want accountability to work, you got to be real with that other person as well, because eventually it will come to the surface. And that's what I'm noticing, the benefit of, and that's why one of my core values is transparency, because I'm like, if I want to better myself, I got to be real with myself. And if I want to better myself for someone else, I got to be real with them as well. And so, accountability is one of those powerful ones where once you put yourself out there and once you're really open and true and honest and authentic with that other accountability person, then that's where the rewards are, because that person can keep you in check, because they know the areas in the life that not only are you succeeding at, but they're the ones that help you struggle in the struggle as well. And they're the ones that'll be like, hey, relax that. You don't need that in your life and stuff like that. And they'll be that voice. And I also believe that person needs to be, that relationship needs to be there, because if I don't have a good relationship with that person, then I don't feel that I can be as transparent as I want, because they'll either capitalize on the information that they have and use it to their advantage, or they won't use it appropriately. But that if the relationship is there, there's a level of trust that even though I'm hearing bad news, or even though I'm hearing tough love, I still rely on that relationship to carry me through and say, no, it's because they want what's best for me. It's because they're supporting me in this journey, even though it hurts. So once again, thank you so much, Oz Indo, for those words of encouragement. And thank you for being one of my accountability friends. Whether you know it or not, you and Warden of the Sand, when you'll drop those comments and stuff, and Panhead as well, when you'll drop those comments about, what you do, and just the feedback from the devotion, that really means a lot. And that helps me stay encouraged and stay motivated to continue to do this. So I want to say thank you so much. By the way, a couple of announcements. I'm back on God Squad Church for winding down the week with Beez, and that's their Thursday night. So I'm going to be doing that. I'll be still doing the prodigal son. We're talking about the older brother, and we're talking about the pitfalls we need to avoid to not be that older brother. And then also just letting you know, I will be away this weekend. It's a big week, big weekend this weekend for me, because my dear friends, Bryson and Jess, shout out to them. They're getting married this weekend, big celebrations. So I won't be doing Mondays daily devotion. I won't be here Mondays daily devotion because I'll be away. But so next daily devotion will be next Tuesday. Okay, so that's me for this weekend. If you want to check out the prodigal son, what's it called? The prodigal son devotion, or the segment, please jump onto God Squad Church's website, Twitch stream, and then we'll show you. You'll see it. I'm having a mind blank. Anyway, that means my time is up. I'm going to bounce. Have yourself a great weekend, everyone. Thank you so much for joining me for another daily devotion with Beez. I've been your host, Beez the Chaplain. I will see you tomorrow. No, I will see you next Tuesday for another daily devotion with Beez at 7:30 Sydney Sider time. In the meantime, stay safe, stay blessed. Peace out. Much love. Bye.